Have you ever walked into a fancy steakhouse, looked around at the white tablecloths, and immediately felt nervous? The menu is filled with strange words like sous-vide, a la mode, or bleu, almost like reading a secret code instead of ordering dinner. At places like Outback or Texas Roadhouse, you might feel relaxed, but here, you worry about messing up, ordering the wrong thing, or even worse, paying a fortune and still leaving hungry. But here's the good news. That fear can disappear. With just a few simple tips, you'll feel confident ordering like a pro and enjoy your meal without second-guessing yourself. Stick with me through this video, because at the end, I'll reveal a little secret that even many steakhouse regulars don't know. And trust me, it could save you dozens of dollars every time you order steak.
1. Choose the right place.
The very first step to ordering at a steakhouse, like you know what you're doing, may sound simple, but it's absolutely crucial. Choose the right restaurant. A truly top-tier steakhouse takes care of everything, from the atmosphere and service down to the little details that make you feel comfortable while choosing your meal. Even if you couldn't tell a fillet of fish from a flank of beef, the right steakhouse will make sure you feel confident when ordering. If the staff is eager to explain, guide you, and put you at ease the moment you sit down, that's a sign you're in the right place. The very best steakhouses, the ones you'll rave about later, are excellent because they've streamlined the entire dining experience for you. And that's the first secret to looking like a steakhouse pro. Always start by choosing the right restaurant. And once you've picked the right place, the next step will help you get ready and avoid that deer-in-the-headlights feeling the moment you open the menu.
2. Look ahead at the menu.
Once you've picked the right steakhouse, the next secret to feeling confident is simple. Check the menu ahead of time. Some folks think you should just sit down and wing it, but even the most seasoned steakhouse regulars usually take a peek online first. The benefits are obvious. If you spot a strange word, you can look it up. Wondering if regular versus prime is worth the extra cost? Just ask Google. Not sure how a ribeye is different from a sirloin? You'll know the answer before you ever step foot in the restaurant. This tiny bit of preparation can save you from a dozen awkward moments with the server. Instead of stumbling through your order, you'll sit down already knowing exactly what you want. So take a few minutes to study the menu before your big night out. Trust me, this small step earns you an A, and that's A as in Angus beef. And once the menu no longer feels like a mystery, the next step will keep you from falling into a trap that leaves too many diners with a much bigger bill than they expected.
3. Beware of upcharges. The third secret when dining at a steakhouse, beware of the upcharges. Even at the more casual chains, your bill can skyrocket thanks to a few choices that seemed harmless at the time. Here's how it usually happens. A couple of drinks, some appetizers, and by the time you order your main course, you think, what's the harm in adding a little something extra? Then the bill shows up. A $20 baked potato, a $75 steak, $15 compound butter, oh, and those truffle shavings, another $30. Suddenly, all those little add-ons added up. Sure, everyone knows basic math, but when temptation strikes, hardly anyone is doing calculations in their head. That's why the golden rule is simple. Avoid the upcharges at all costs. And once you've learned how to keep your bill under control, the next step takes us straight to the heart of the steakhouse experience, knowing your cows.
4. Know your cows.
Now that you've learned how to keep your bill in check, it's time to focus on the heart of the steakhouse experience, knowing your cows. It might sound simple, but each breed of cattle brings its own unique flavor and texture to the table. Take Black Angus, the most common beef breed in America. Its meat is prized for being juicy, tender, and flavorful, thanks to that even marbling of fat. This is the type of steak you'll find at most American steakhouses. But if you want to take your experience up a notch, pay attention to Japanese Wagyu. This beef is world famous for its melt-in-your-mouth tenderness, delicate flavor, and incredible marbling. There's a reason Wagyu often comes with a higher price tag. Understanding the difference between breeds gives you the confidence to order smart because you know exactly what you're paying for. And once you've got the breeds down, the next step is just as important: choosing the right cut of steak.
5. Know your cuts.
Once you've got the breeds figured out, the next step to looking like a steakhouse pro is know your cuts. Not all steaks are created equal. Each cut delivers a different level of flavor, tenderness, and overall experience. For example, the Filet Mignon is considered the most tender cut. It's buttery soft and practically melts in your mouth. But here's the trade-off: it's not as bold in flavor. On the other hand, if you want big flavor, go for a ribeye, loaded with marbling, juicy, and rich in taste. Another great option is the New York strip, which strikes a nice balance between tenderness and flavor, a favorite among many steak lovers. And if you want the best of both worlds, the T-bone gives you filet on one side and strip steak on the other. Knowing these differences helps you choose the cut that best matches your taste and expectations. And once you've got your cut picked out, the next step is just as critical: deciding on the right steak size for you.
6. Steak size matters.
Once you've chosen your cut, there's one more key factor. Steak size matters. Not everyone can handle a massive cut of beef, and nobody wants to leave a steakhouse still feeling hungry. Order too much, and you'll end up asking for a to-go box, which takes away from the magic of the moment. Order too little, and you'll regret not fully enjoying the experience. That's why it's important to know your own appetite, and maybe your companion's if you're sharing. A petite cut might be perfect for a lighter eater, while a 24-ounce porterhouse is better suited for someone ready to go all in. Remember, the worst part isn't taking leftovers home. It's missing out on the full experience right there at the table. Picking the right size ensures you feel satisfied, not stuffed or shortchanged. And once you've nailed the portion, you'll face another age-old question: bone in or boneless?
7. Bone in and boneless.
Once you've settled on the size of your steak, the next big question is bone in or boneless? This debate has been around forever in the world of meat lovers. Fans of bone-in steak believe the bone locks in moisture and flavor while protecting the meat from drying out. A bone-in ribeye not only looks impressive, but many say it simply tastes better. On the flip side, boneless steaks cook more evenly and are much easier to eat. No fiddling around the bone, no messy hands, just clean, simple slices. That's why many middle-aged and older diners appreciate the convenience. But if you want the best of both worlds, here's a little trick. Ask your server to pre-slice the meat off the bone before serving. That way, you get the flavor of a bone-in steak with the convenience of boneless. And once you've made your choice between bone-in or boneless, the next step completes the steakhouse experience. Don't forget the appetizers and sides. If you're still watching and finding these details valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave the number 7 in the comments below, just to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you don't miss a thing. Your support is what allows us to keep creating helpful content to inform and inspire you. Now let's get back to it.
8. Don't forget the apps and sides.
A perfect steakhouse meal isn't just about the steak itself. It's also about the apps and sides. Too often overlooked,
These dishes can either elevate or undercut the entire experience. Most diners, when asked, quickly default to soup, salad, or fries, but take a moment to really scan the menu and you might be surprised. Charred Brussels sprouts, bacon-tossed green beans, twice-baked potatoes, rich mushroom gravy, or colorful veggie medleys. For example, a classic prime rib is best enjoyed alongside creamed spinach and a touch of horseradish. The right sides don't just balance flavors, they make the steak itself shine even brighter. So don't underestimate the sides. Think of them as the perfect companions for your steak. And if you're still unsure about what to pick, don't worry. The next step reveals a simple yet powerful tip. Let your server guide you.
9. Defer to your server. After you've chosen your apps and sides, you might still feel a little unsure. That's when the smartest move is simple. Defer to your server. Remember, Steakhouse staff work with the menu day in and day out. They know which shipment of beef just came in, which cuts are at their absolute best, and they can even point you toward off-menu gems most diners never hear about. Even seasoned regulars lean on their servers, not because they don't know what they're doing, but because they understand that listening to an insider's tip often leads to the best dining experience. So don't be shy about asking questions or seeking recommendations. It's the best way to learn and enjoy your meal at the same time. And once you're ordering with confidence like a pro, there's still one more piece that completes the steakhouse puzzle, the perfect drink pairing.
10. Wine and booze pairings. Once you've settled on your steak, don't forget the element that elevates the entire experience, the drink pairing. A glass of wine, a cold beer, or even a classic cocktail can take your steakhouse meal to the next level. Most steakhouses feature a carefully curated wine list, and your server will usually suggest the best pairing for the cut and doneness you've chosen. For example, a Cabernet Sauvignon often pairs beautifully with a marbled ribeye. But wine isn't your only option. Craft beers, ciders, or even a classic cocktail like an old-fashioned or Manhattan can be just as satisfying. They're tasty, relaxing, and set the mood for a great evening. Here's a tip. Kick off your evening with a cocktail to calm your nerves and set the tone before the main event. And once your drink is in hand, don't assume you've mastered it all, because there's still one common trap many diners fall into: ordering the tomahawk.
11. Skip the tomahawk.
By now, you're probably feeling pretty confident about ordering. But there's still one common trap. Even seasoned diners fall for it: ordering the tomahawk. There's no denying the tomahawk looks impressive. It's a giant cut of beef with a long bone handle, seared beautifully and presented like a showpiece. It practically screams for attention. The problem? Most of that weight comes from the bone, and since steaks are sold by the pound, you're basically paying a premium price for something you can't even eat. Steakhouse pros know better. They'll order the ribeye instead. At the end of the day, it's the same cut without the big bone, and the money you save could easily cover a nice glass of wine or a decadent dessert. So remember, the tomahawk might look good for a Facebook photo, but the ribeye is the smarter choice for your wallet. And once you know how to dodge that trap, the next step is spotting one of the best green flags in any steakhouse: a menu with locally sourced options.
12. Look for locally sourced menus. One of the best green flags to look for in a steakhouse is a menu with locally sourced options. The freshest meat and produce are always the ones that don't have to travel far to reach your plate. Just like shopping at a local farmer's market for seasonal produce, many steakhouses partner with nearby farms to bring in higher quality food. Seeing California beef listed on a menu in California, for example, is usually a very good sign. Locally sourced beef, vegetables, and even dairy products not only taste better, but also give diners peace of mind. Of course, there are exceptions, like Japanese Wagyu, that naturally need to be imported. So when you see a steakhouse highlighting local sourcing, you can trust they're serious about quality and freshness. And if you want to level up even further, the next step is crucial for ordering Wagyu with confidence: understanding the Wagyu grading system.
13. Be wise to Wagyu grades.
When people think of steakhouses, Wagyu beef often comes to mind. It's world famous. But before you order a Wagyu medium rare, you should know this beef comes with its own grading system. The Wagyu scale is simple. It combines a letter, A, B, or C, with a number, 1 through 5. The letter measures overall yield, A being the highest, B the next, and C the lowest. The number reflects marbling and eating quality. 5 is the top, melt-in-the-mouth tenderness and rich marbling. 1 is the lowest, but still Wagyu, which means it's still far superior to your everyday beef. So if you see A5 Wagyu, you're looking at the best of the best. On the flip side, a C1 Wagyu is at the bottom of the Wagyu scale, but let's be real, it's still Wagyu, and who's turning that down? Knowing this scale gives you the confidence to order wisely. And once you've mastered Wagyu, there's one critical mistake you need to avoid. Never order a prime cut well done.
14. Don't order a prime cut well done. Once you've learned about Wagyu and other premium cuts, there's one unspoken rule you need to remember. Never order a prime cut well done. Of course, how you like your steak is up to you, but professional chefs often cringe when someone orders a ribeye or filet mignon well done. It's not about being picky, it's because they know the meat loses most of its flavor, juiciness, and tenderness once it's cooked that far. Overcooking burns off the flavorful fat, dries out the meat, and ruins the balance of the cut. The result? You're paying premium prices for a downgraded experience. If you truly prefer fully cooked meat, you're better off ordering slow-cooked dishes like brisket, short ribs, or hearty stews. Those cuts are meant to be cooked all the way through and still taste amazing. Remember, ordering a premium cut well done isn't just wasting money, it robs you of the full steakhouse experience. If you're unsure, don't hesitate to ask questions, which leads us to the next step. Ask questions to learn and order with confidence.
If you're still watching and finding these details valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave the number 14 in the comments below, just to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you don't miss a thing. Your support is what allows us to keep creating helpful content to inform and inspire you. Now let's get back to it. 15. Ask questions.
After you've learned what to avoid, here's a simple but powerful tip. Ask questions. Don't worry that asking will make you look inexperienced. In fact, it's the fastest way to learn and start ordering like a pro. Remember, nobody is born knowing how to order at a steakhouse. Everyone, even seasoned diners, had a first time. And servers are there to answer your questions, guide you, and make sure you have the best experience possible. Not sure which cut to pick? Ask. Wondering which wine pairs best with your ribeye? Just ask. The more questions you ask, the more confident you'll become for the next time. The beauty of asking questions is that every answer builds your knowledge and confidence. And once you're comfortable ordering your main course, there's one last step to round out the steakhouse experience. Save room for dessert. 16. Save room for dessert. After your steak, most people think the meal is over.
But to truly complete the steakhouse experience, you should always save room for dessert. Don't underestimate the dessert menu. It may not be long, but the quality is often top-notch. From creamy cheesecake and warm bread pudding to gooey chocolate lava cake, or even crème brûlée and soufflé at higher-end places, these dishes can be the perfect sweet ending. And if you're not into sweets, you can always cap the night with a dessert wine or a light cocktail. What matters most is ending the meal with a sense of satisfaction, instead of missing out on that final touch of indulgence. So, from the moment you walk in to that final dessert, you now have all the tools to order at a steakhouse like a true pro. And remember that little secret I promised at the beginning? By choosing the right cut, avoiding traps like the Tomahawk, and understanding Wagyu, you can save yourself dozens of dollars each meal while still enjoying the full steakhouse experience.
So there you have it. We've walked through the entire steakhouse journey together. From choosing the right restaurant, checking the menu ahead of time, dodging those sneaky upcharges, and understanding breeds and cuts, all the way to saving room for dessert. Now you've got everything you need to order like a true steakhouse pro. But now I want to hear from you. What's your go-to steak order when you dine out? Share it in the comments below so we can swap stories and tips. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and ring the bell so you'll always be the first to get fresh tips and insights. Thanks so much for sticking with me all the way to the end. I'll see you in the next one, where we'll keep uncovering more of the hidden secrets of American dining.